Om Shri Matre Nama. Namaste, everybody. Welcome back to our Soundarya Lahari session. Soundarya Lahari Sādhana. We have been doing the Sādhana of Soundarya Lahari from last Navratri. So today we are actually exploring the third verse of the trio verses 15, 16, and 17 regarding Saraswati Bhavam, which is bestowing Vāc Siddhi. So we'll conclude that with this verse 17. So in 15 and 16, if we look into those, it is progressively increasing that Vāc Siddhi, as you can see. And in 17, it's even further increasing. So 15 talked about Sharad Jyotsna Shubhram. It was Shubhra Saraswati. If we meditate on Shubhra Saraswati, then we will have the words that are as sweet as a madhu and with the quality of milk and with the healing power of draksha, the raisins. And that is how this 15 was. As we come to the 16th verse, it was talking about Aruna Saraswati. The form changed. Shubhra Saraswati was more of a Sattvika Saraswati. And Aruna Saraswati is a Rajasika Saraswati. So here, the word's power is increasing. The word's power is increasing. How do we know the word has power? We know that from how that is generating, what kind of emotion that is generating in the minds of the people who are reading or who are enjoying that work. So that is what it was showing in the verse called Sadam Ranjanamami. In the minds of the people who are reading this, what kind of emotions that are generated, like they are giving delight to those people who are reading this. That is how it was shown as the Aruna Saraswati, because the words are getting the power. So she's Vāgdevatās. So those impact on the people is that their words will effortlessly come out of their mouth, as effortlessly like the love that Saraswati is having towards Brahma. So that effortlessly the words will be flowing, and those words will have the Gabira. They are also profound words. Now we will go through the verse Śloka number 17, where it is gaining even more power. So let's look through the words. We will do the Vāchyartham first and then go through the details. The Śloka, where Devi is portrayed with Vāgdevatās. We'll see who the Vāgdevatās are in a minute. Savitri bhir vājam Shashimani Shilabhanga Rujibhe Vāśinyādhyabhistvam Sahajanani Sanchintayatiya Sakarta Kavyanam Bhavati Mahatam Bhangirujipir Vajobir Vāgdevi Vadana Kamalamoda Madhure. Such a beautiful words. Look at that. Shilabhanga Rujibhi Mahadam Bhangirujipi Savitri Bhir Vajobhir Bhangarujipir Bhangirujipir. Beautiful words. How Shankara has arranged this. So let's go by the meaning. Twam Janani. So this is actually again addressing to Janani. Janani is the one who gives Janma, right? That is the mother who gives the Janmam to the entire cosmos. So this is addressing to that Janani Parashakti. So the one who gives birth to the entire cosmos is what the Janani here. So Twam Janani Sanchintayatiya. So ya sa meaning, ya means whoever, sa means that person. So yaha saha means whoever is doing that person will get this, something like that, right? So that is ya means whoever. So whoever is doing Sanchintayatiya. Chinta means the thinking. Here means meditation or contemplation. Sanchintayati is completely, purely, fully doing the meditation on you. How? It's actually saying Saha Vāśinyādhyāpi. Saha means along with. You have heard the word Sahachari, Sahadharmini, Sahayatri. So something that goes along with. So Saha Vāśinyādhyāpi. Vāśinī Ādi. Vāśinyādi are the Ashtadevata, the Ashtavak Devatas. Those who are familiar with Lalita Sahasranama know them. Oh mother, if someone is meditating you along with Vāśinyādi, then Vāśinyādi has some adjectives added here. That's the first line. First line says, Savitri bhir vājam Shashimani Shila Bhanga Rujipir. Savitri bhir vājam. Vaja means words. Savitri means Janani, whoever is giving birth to. You have heard the Lalita Sahasranamam has a name, Prasavitri. So Savitri, Prasavitri, all same meaning. Means whoever is giving the Janma. Whoever is giving birth to what? Vaja. So whoever gives birth to words. Vāśinyādi are the ones give birth to words. They are the mother of words. And so that is one adjective. And then the next is the Shashimani Shilabhanga Rujipi. Shashimani, Shashi is moon. Today is actually the full moon day. Shashimani, Mani is jewel. Shashimani is Chandrakantam. If you have heard about that, is a precious stone. So Shashimani Chandrakantam Shila. Shila means stone. Bhanga Rujibir. Bhanga means broken, cut, freshly cut. Bhanga Rujibir. Rujibir means just like that. Rujib is the nature. Vāśinyādi have been given an adjective saying that they are like Shashimani Shila Bhanga Rujibi. Chandragandham is actually like the color of moon. It's very beautiful. If any stone, if it is cut, that fresh cut side will be more luster, shining, right? So that is what it's saying, that just like a fresh cut Chandrakanta stone. So that is how Vāśinyādis are. And what is it showing here? It is showing the purity of that, purity and perfection and white Shubhram, right? So here again, the bhavam of Devata is Sattvika bhavam. So here, Shashimani Shilabhanga Rujubi, just like a fresh cut moonstone, that's how beautiful these Vāśinyādis are. If someone does the contemplation or the meditation on you, O Mother, along with this Vāśinyādi, who are the creator of words and who are as beautiful as a Shashimani Shilabhanga. First part is yes, if they do that. And the second part is that what will happen to them is the second part. So let's see that line. Sakarta kavyanam bhavati mahadam bhangirujipir. So they will create the kavyam. Sakarta. Karta means create. Kavyam. Kavyam means the great poetic work. So if somebody meditate on you along with the Vāśinyādi Vāgdevata, then they will create the kavyam, such a great kavyam. And those kavyams has two qualities. One is they have Mahadam Bhangirujipir. Mahadam means the other great poets, the great poets like Valmiki, Kalidasa, Vyasa, and Śaṅkarācārya himself. So those Mahadam, they will be like their Bhangirujipir. So their style of writing will be in the kavyam that these people who are meditating on the Devata will have. One characteristic is that they will create kavyam which is just like the Mahadam. We talked about Kavindranam in the first. So those Kavindranam, it will be very similar to their poetic work. Then second explanation, second characteristic is Vajobir Vāc Devīs Vadana Kamalamoda Madure. So those words that these people who are the Devi Upasakas create will also be carrying the fragrance of Saraswati's exquisite lotus-like face. So Vadana Kamalam is that her face. Face is like a lotus, beautiful lotus flower is how her face is equated to. And from that flower, that fragrance that is coming from. So the beauty of the words is what is mentioned here. And it says that it will be like the fragrance coming out of Saraswati's mouth, which actually means that their words will be like Saraswati's words. So which actually means they will become Saraswati. Those people who do the meditation on Devi along with Vāśinyādi, so they will create the kavyam who are as good as those great poets, esteemed poets like Valmiki, Kalidasa, Vyasa, those poets, amazing poets. That will be one quality. And the second one is that they will become Saraswati. Their words will carry the fragrance of Saraswati's lotus-like face. That is what the full word. So, Savitri bhir vajam shashimani shilabhanga rujipir Vāśinyādhyāpistvam sahajanini sanchintayadiya Sakarta kavyanam bhavati mahadam bhangirujipir vajobir Vāc Devīs vadana kamalamoda madure. O Mother, those who meditate on you along with the Vāśinī and the allied 8 Devatas, Vāśinī plus 7 Devatas, they are the Vāc Devīs. They are the mother of speech and they shine like the brilliance of freshly cut moonstone. So if they do like that, if they meditate like that, those people become the creator of the magnificent poetic masterpieces. And the works are as enchanting as those of these esteemed poets. Like there are some examples, right? Valmiki, Kalidasa, Vyasa. This is not mentioned in the verse, but that those are the Mahadam. Mahadam shows those great poets. And with their words imbued with the fragrance of Saraswati's exquisite lotus-like face. So that is the word meaning. So a little bit more detail about Vāśinī, Vāgdevatās. So whoever is familiar with Lalita Sahasranamam knows that Lalita Sahasranamam is by Vāśinī Vāgdevatās and under the guidance of Devi, who wants to write the thousands name of her for people to do the Upāsanā of Devi. So this was given to the Vāśinī. So that's why every mantram has Rishi, Chandas, Devata, and Rishi of this Lalita Sahasranamam is Vāśinī. That's 8 Vāgdevatās. So that's why at the beginning of the Lalita Sahasranamam, if you are actually saying the Rishi, Chandas, Devata, then you would say, first you would say that Om Asya Sri Lalita Sahasranama Stotra Mahamantrasya Vāśinī Vāgdevatā Risheya. So the Rishi of the Lalita Sahasranamam is Vāśinī. So that is the importance of Vāśinī. There are 8 of them. So the first one is called Vāśinī, and then there are 7 of them. So they are connected with 50 aksharas, the 50 letters of Sanskrit language. So those 50 aksharas are the ones that are overseen by these Vāśinī Vāgdevatās. So the swaras are by Vāśinī, the main Vāgdevatā herself, because that is the most important letters are the swara. And then the rest are called the vyanjanas, the consonants. In Sanskrit, they are divided into different varga or categories. So the first category is ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. That is by the Vāgdevatā by name Kameshwari. Then cha, cha, ja, jha, nya by Modini. Then ta, tha, da, dhana. It's known as tavargam. That is by the Vāgdevatā Vimala. Then ta vargam, ta, tha, da, dha, na by Aruna. Then pa, pa, ba, pa, ma by Jaini. Then ya, ra, la, va by Sarveshwari. And finally the sha vargam, which is sha, sha, sa, ha, and sha by Kaulini. So those are the letters of Sanskrit. These are the 8 Vāgdevatās that is overseeing these letters. Because anything that we speak, anything that we think, they are formed from these letters to the words, the sentences, because that's why all these are overseen by them. Now, when you think about Vāgdevatās or any Devatas, don't think like a person. Like when you think about Krishna, don't think like a person, the blue boy with a flute, or Ganesha, don't think of a person with a big belly. So they are actually the principle. Right here, when we say Vāśinī and all these other Kameshwari, they are not actually a person, but different principles of these sounds are what we have to take into consideration. So first one is Vāśinī. So she is overseeing the principle of the swaras. Swaras are most important because they are the ones that gives the power to vyanjanas. So ka, if you cannot pronounce a ka without the swara a, right? And ka is with the swara a or ki, right? So ka itself will not have the power. So only when the swaras are added, these vyanjanas get the power. Sound conjoining that swara itself is the one, that principle is known as Vāśinī. Okay, so don't think of the person, but think of that principle that is forming the letters, that is forming the words in the letter into words and the words into sentences, because there are so many things that play here to make that sweet words of Madhukshira Draksha, or sweet words that are like Mahabharata or Kalidasa Kriti or Tyagaraja Kriti or Shyamashastri, or all these kritis, those have power in them. So that principle behind those words are the ones that we have to think as we are saying these devatas, right? Kameshwari, it's inner desire. So because everything why are we speaking? There is absolutely a desire or an intention behind the speech. That inner intention, inner desire, why we are speaking, why we are even thinking. When sometimes we think in a full sentence, right? That thinking, that icha is what is that principle is called Kameshwari. And then Modini. So whenever we speak, we have to speak the words that are bringing happiness to others. The element of words that brings that sweetness to the words in our behavior, that is called the Modini. Then Vimala. Vimala is a purity in words, because we know that sometimes we don't speak pure words. So that clear, pure word, that element is Vimala. Then Aruna. Sometimes in kavyams, mainly, they won't say something very straightforward. There is actually an outer meaning, and then there is a profound inner meaning. So the words that are suggested with a higher intention, that Shakti, that power, that principle is called Aruna. Then comes Jaini. Jaini is it's a connecting principle. So we know the letters connect to words, words connect to sentences. So that connecting principle is called Jaini. Then Sarveshwari is that overall word power, because when individually all these things comes in together, you have to have a power, overall power to the words. That is what is Sarveshwari. And then finally, Kaulini. Kaulini is the one that has a conclusive power, that brings that end. We cannot have a sentence that goes on and on and on, right? We have to conclude it somewhere. So that power is called Kaulini. When we say the Devatas, don't think like a person, right? Our concept of Devatas, we have to emerge to principle, right? Like, because we started learning as we were young, we were learning all these Purana, the stories. Now it's the time that we are connecting the stories into the Tattvam. So we understand the Tattvam. Of course, the Devatas is still needed, because then only we can connect, we can make a personal connection, and then we can focus our attention on that. That Rupam is needed, but we have to always understand the principle behind all these Devatas. So the way that we will understand these 8 Vāgdevatās are the one that gives the power to these words. Now, why is Śaṅkarācārya giving so much importance to Vāk? Right? Because there are so many gunam. We have 330 million devatas. Right? So obviously we have 330 million gunams as well, right? But why is the consecutive 3 verses that Śaṅkarācārya is using to talk about the power of the words, Vāk Siddhi, through 15 through 17, why was he giving so much importance to Vāk? You already know the answer, because remember how the whole prapancham is created. The Drishya prapancham is not the one that was created first. First, what was created was the Shabda prapancham, because from that Shuddha Chaitanyam, there is a spodam, there is a spandanam. From that spandanam, first thing that comes is the Shabda, because that Om is that first pranavam, is the first mantra or sound that comes. Whatever we see later, that is created after the Shabda Prapancham. That Shabdam is also known as Nama. Whatever Vedantins say, Nama Rupam, that this Namam is the Shabdam. So Shabdam is what is created first. And then from that Shabdam, the Artham, the meaning comes. Right? Everything in this cosmos has a shabdam and an artham. Taking the case of vriksham or the mountain, there is a word for that, which is equivalent to the vibration of that thing, quote unquote thing, and then there is a meaning to that thing. So that's why the word, because the Shabda Prapancham is the fundamental of the Drishya Prapancham, that's why these words are given so much importance by Shankara. All these Devatas are bestowing Vāk Siddhi to us. And Lalita Sahasranam also has so many things that talks about these Devatas. When we were going through Śloka number 11, where we had the Sri Yantra design, we mentioned that there are so many triangles and there are so many circles. And we mentioned that each circle has each Devata, and these 8 Devatas have their own space in that Sri Chakra. There is Sarvarogahara Chakram, one of the inside is called Sarvarogahara Chakram. And in that, these Ashta Vāgdevatās, Vāśinyādi Vāgdevatās are residing in that. So again, just think of the principle not as a person, Okay, so then we know the Mahatam, right? It is equated to the words that are coming out of the people who are doing the meditation on Devi, along with these Devatas, right? Vāc Devīs. What does it actually mean? To those who have the power over these words, those who have command over these different concept of words, obviously they will create the best kavyam. They will be epic, like Kalidas example we saw. Kalidasa was really actually not a smart person. He was seen as cutting the tree branch that he was sitting, right? But when he had the darshan of Kali, that Kali gives him the power of Vak, and he started creating that amazing point that people still enjoy, right? Similarly, Valmiki was not Valmiki at the beginning. Like, there is a beautiful story from a Ramayana Odyssey. Daksha has said the beautiful story of Valmiki, from how Ratnagara, a bandit actually, who converts into Valmiki. It's the power of the word. So he was asked to chant the name of Rama, right? Continuously chant the name of Rama. From there, the words started getting power within him, and he creates that epic poem called Ramayana. Even now, if you can think of Muthuswami Dikshitar and Shyama Shastri, those amazing poets, both of them are very big Devi Bhaktas, and Tyagaraja, Rama Bhakta. So they create these kavyams, and they have these Saraswati Kataksham. The Saraswati has Anugraham is with them, right? So those people's kavyam, we are still enjoying. Power is amazing. So that is what saying that we also do the Devata Aradhana like this. We also will have that power to create the kavyam as good as them. But again, we have to have the mindset to do the Upāsanā of the Devi, right? So again, it is possible, even if not the Tantric Upāsanā, even if you can chant these 3 verses, if you want the power of the words to manifest within you, just do the chanting of these 3 verses. Sharad Jyotsna Shubhram Shashiyuta Jada Joda Magada, that is Śloka 15. The Kavindranam Chedak Kamalavana Bala Tapajujim, the Śloka number 16, and the new verse. So all 3 verses continues to chant to get that power of the words. The amazing power of these words are explored by the grace of Devi. So that is the summary of these verses. So that concludes our trio, verse 15, 16, and 17. So continue to chant these 3. And we know this Mahadam includes Śaṅkarācārya. Śaṅkarācārya doesn't say his own name, but we know his word power, right? So continue to chant these 3. That will have amazing change in us. So please do that. Om Shri Matre Nama. Sarvam Shri Jagadambika Padaravindarpanamastu.